The first Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. They looked up and saw a star shining in the east, beyond them far, and to the earth it gave great light, and so it continued both day and night. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glories stream from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth, Jesus, Lord, at thy birth.
Merry Christmas. Amy and I hope that wherever you find yourself today, you take some time to reflect on the birth of Christ and celebrate Jesus this Christmas. You know, there are lots of different traditions and ways to do that. It's been tradition for our family to be home on Christmas Day. And so here from our living room to wherever you are, Merry Christmas. Again, those traditions have changed. And so from season to season, we found ourselves celebrating Christmas differently.
As we were thinking about some of our traditions growing up, one of my memories that first came to my mind was being at my grandmother's house. And my grandmother was an amazing cook. She baked, she cooked, and she did that for everybody else. And especially at Christmas, I can remember going and looking at her table, her buffet, and it was covered from end to end with chocolates and pies and candies. And she had somebody's name on every one that she had made. And I loved growing up that she had, this was going to so-and-so, and this was going to this doctor, and this was going to this person, and she baked with love and took those things to other people in her community, and I love that memory.
I got to be a part of that when I first married into the family. And then I remember my own family traditions growing up. It was important for my immediate family to be at home on Christmas Day, but on Christmas Eve, we spent time with grandparents on both sides of the family. My granny, which is my mom's mother, her house would be packed with people on Christmas Eve. And I'll never forget, she would always gather us around the Christmas tree before it was time to open presents. And she would share the Christmas story with us. It might be a different, out of the different parts of the Bible or whatever, but every Christmas she would share the Christmas story with us. And for that moment, it was such a peaceful time of hearing the Christmas story. All hell would break loose after that as everybody started opening presents. You got to be part of that when you first married into the family. But such a great memory and such a great tradition. And like I said, everybody has different traditions. And so we want you to hear from some different families, some different people about how they celebrate the birth of Christ.
Well, with my family, Christmas, we didn't have any real set traditions. I found out after we married that Ramona's family had a lot of emphasis on family, which mine did not. I can only remember 2 Christmases growing up that we were with other family members. Our Christmas time was just our immediate family. My dad always worked on Christmas Day, and so Christmas morning was early, opening presents from Santa Claus, and then our family dinner was after my dad got off work that day. After we married, Ramona's family was a large family tradition, a big emphasis on family. A lot of her family lived in Odessa, where we grew up. Her grandparents, aunts and uncles and cousins, and so it was a large family gathering for Christmas. And that carried on with her parents. Of course, as they aged, then we took on that tradition, hosting all the family. And I can remember as many as 30 people on a Christmas Day celebration, heavy emphasis on our family.
One of the things that our family always did was play games. We loved to play games, but we loved to play games that included everyone that was there, from children through adults. And so we like to play a rousing game of spoons or nerds. We like a lot of competition. We like a lot of laughter, a little bit of name calling, just whatever's involved in playing those games. And so the more people that can play, the better. We even move the kitchen table out into the living room and extend it as big as it can so we can all get around it to play nerds. And so we've had some pretty fun times through the years playing those games.
I would encourage you to enjoy your family, whether it's a small, intimate family gathering like mine were when I was a child in my parents' home, or whether it's a large gathering like we enjoy now. We'll enjoy that again this year, and I'm sure there will be some nerds playing and maybe some name calling, but all in good fun. And I encourage you to savor those moments, treasure those moments with whatever family you celebrate with.
As you enjoy this season, in whatever capacity that is, remember that to not get carried away by any of the stress or any of the busyness and stay focused on the main reason for this season and just enjoy every moment that you can.
So for us, my mom, she was a single mother. There was 7 children that she had. And I just remember waking up and opening my presents, and I knew that they weren't necessarily bought from my mom, but we still had enjoyed Christmas alike, you know. We had usually had to go to different churches to get our gifts. We would be on, I don't think at that time they had a such thing called like Angel Tree, but we would have our names on, you know, a couple different churches, and we would go pick up our presents like maybe 2 weeks in advance. And it was just exciting. There was always, you know, some underwear in there, some socks in there. But they always made sure that they added love and they thought about every single one of us. Later on in life, I like to also give presents to children who maybe are less fortunate, you know. And I can just only, more than imagine, I know what it feels like to be blessed in that manner. So for me, this season means a chance to start over again. Jesus was born so that we may be saved. It's a choice that we make. And I think every Christmas, it's like, okay, it's going to be a New Year's, and this is almost symbolic of redemption season. A chance that we may, you know, start over again, especially 2020. Was a hard year for us, but when it came time for Christmas, it was like everybody took a breath, you know. Although we weren't able to, you know, visit with our family unless it was virtual, it was still like, okay, I think that there's hope, you know. That's what Christmas symbolizes for me, is hope, rebirth, and renewal.
All right, one interesting tradition I started about 5 years ago. We were watching a Hallmark movie, and this family got together, and what their tradition was is that they would make cookies together, and they'd all get together and celebrate Christmas. So that was the beginning of their Christmas. I started doing this about 5 years ago and get together with everybody and invite all the family, and it's a way where we get all the family together and get to see people that we haven't seen, because, you know, everybody's busy, everybody's grown up and married and have their own lives. I found a way to gather everybody before Christmas and throw a cookie contest. And we usually celebrate here, and we, in the recent years, we've decided we have to have a bigger venue, so we have to actually rent somewhere, because there's about 48 people right now, well, relatives, and it's growing every year. What we do is throw a little contest. Everybody makes different cookies. Usually I make a theme. They make fruit cookies. This year was a cookie bar, and we give out prizes and gift cards, everything that we can do. We also set up like little shops, little crafts for the kids to do and create ornaments, and they all get together, and it's fun to see all the kids. And since we started and we began, everybody looks forward to it. And it's one of the big old Christmas things that is happening now. And hopefully, I'm building something right now that hopefully the kids will carry on and keep doing that, so they can get along and everybody can see each other before the holidays, when everything gets hectic and nobody gets to see each other.
As your family gathers, or whatever your traditions may bring, just enjoy the moment, enjoy the peace, and bring joy to the moment. Not everybody lives their life the same way, so just really always be that extra hand, always look out for the people, and always just show people that they're loved. Even if you don't know them, just show them that they're loved, because you never know what kind of day people are having.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Aldersgate. My name is Laurie Foster, and I'm the founder and director of Backyard Mission. Backyard Mission is a local home repair ministry. We provide free home repairs for low-income elderly homeowners in the city of Lubbock, and we've been doing this since 1992. Our focus is to help get the homes warm and dry, which you and I would consider basic shelter. So typical repairs for us will be doors, windows, siding, water heaters, heaters. We do the work with volunteers and we pay professionals when we need to. Our heart is that people would know there's a God that sees them, knows them, loves them, and has come to meet their need. My favorite story to tell is about a lady named Sedalia. She was an 80-year-old widow who applied to us for help. I went to see her and see what we could help her with. Before leaving, I asked her if I could pray with her. She said yes, so I put my arm around her and began to pray. She rested her head against my shoulder, and you could just feel the years of weariness and hardships. When I got up to go, she stood up and looked at me and said, "This morning I felt sick, but now I feel better because today my Lord came by to see me." She understood it wasn't me, it wasn't Backyard Mission, it was her Lord that came by to see her that day. My prayer for Backyard Mission is that we were always faithful to point people to Him. So Aldersgate, thank you for helping us do that. Thank you for your generous hearts. And I pray that each of you would know that there's a God who sees you and knows you and loves you. Merry Christmas.
I hope you've enjoyed hearing from different families how they celebrate the birth of Christ. And it can be done many different ways. We all have our different traditions. I would just encourage you to remember the Christmas story. As the angels showed up in Luke chapter 2 and told the shepherds of the birth of Christ, the shepherds run to the manger where they find baby Jesus lying there. And then they go back out into their fields and they begin to watch their sheep again. But there's a part in the Christmas story where it says, Mary treasured all of these things in her heart. Now, our prayer for you this Christmas day is that no matter what traditions you have, no matter where you're celebrating, no matter what this season brings for you, that you would treasure the birth of Christ in your heart. As we had boys and our family began to grow, it was important for us to celebrate Christmas in our home on Christmas Day. And so here we are, from our living room to yours. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.